So, hey, Bob, Cops Rule, you're here! Finally! Welcome!
Yeah. We just showed up. Never mind that there was any sort of technical difficulty whatsoever. Not such a thing.
Commentating is hard.
True. Very true. All right, so we've got, once again, 4 runners here. Digital Hobo, Check Raise, Grim Fairy 27, and the Aeronaut. We've got plenty of other runners in the background, plenty other ways to go. We've got, as Tresco said earlier, about 61 entrants in this race. Cubs Rule, you're doing all right? Everything's okay? And we are being heard? Excellent.
I hope so.
All right. So, once again, the rule set for this is the accessible rule set for those of you who are keeping up with a couple of different tournaments at once. Accessible basically means you're doing mostly glitchless. Basically, the only real glitch allowed is the ground jump, and that's because it makes the B1 skip in Deku Tree a little easier. Other than that, you're basically doing glitchless the whole time. And as is the case, we are going to be looking for the remaining medallions. Looks like the water medallion is free for us today. And then once those medallions are gathered, you can head to Ganon's Tower and beat Face, assuming you have those light arrows.
Always nice to start with the medallion. Less of a chance of all dungeons.
Yep, very true. However, if it turns out to be all dungeons, it's just that much worse, because it's 3 more dungeons you gotta do instead of 2.
Also, we're still waiting for Fuzzy. Wait, Grim? What's going on? People are leaving left, right, and center. We're still waiting for Fuzziness to ready up. Go Fuzzy, and then we can start. He apparently didn't know the web patcher until now, which is amazing. Whoever made that is an amazing person. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm told that this person is some sort of coding god. I don't know what's going on, but
wait, what? Jope is not allowing us to start.
Joe, please.
Shadow just went boom.
Come on, Jope. Don't be a bitch.
We'll start soon.
Alright, so one more time, somebody probably needs to unready and ready.
We're still waiting for Fuzzy.
Oh, right, I see what's going on. Still waiting on Fuzzy to get the thing set up. There's some technical difficulties there. Alright, so while we are waiting, let's go ahead and take a look at the current standing. So, again, there are 5 qualifiers left, and of course, the way this is set up, you're allowed to do 8 qualifiers and get plenty of points for those. Only your first 8 count. Our runners today, some of them, I'm not sure how many of them have actually done a race.
Okay, now Grim's stream went out. Great start to the day. Wait, is Grim's stream still live on your end?
No.
I got a black screen and an error trying to refresh. No, he is offline.
Then. Finally. 2, 1.
So Grim Fairy has done, looks like, 5 races. And we are in fact underway now, so let's get this thing on the road. Some runners electing to go directly for Mido's house. And look at that, we've got the Big Goron sword right off the bat. So, this is the time for serious beatdowns all over the place.
Not much money so far. Don't know how many people head toward Deku without that.
Yeah, I find it quite unlikely that people will go for Deku Tree without first finding a decent amount of rupees. I usually don't unless I find a good chunk of rupees or literally a free Deku Shield. Though it does look like we've got some runners deliberately getting up to 20. And 20 rupees is a pretty interesting threshold, because in the recent update, in the 4.0 update, they made it where the child fishing no longer requires the sword. So a lot of runners will elect to do the early south route and go to the Gerudo Valley Chickens as well as the open grotto in Hyrule Field, and then finish it up with a Scarecrow's Song acquisition and that good old fishing expedition.
More Sphere Zero checks just means more early fun places for items to. But also, 20 rupees is good for a couple sticks, so you can crack into Zelda's Lullaby a little earlier and go the 3-song route.
All right, so it looks like we've got 2 of our runners heading to Castletown, getting some cash while they're at it. 3 of our runners heading to Castletown, while the aeronaut is going that south route I was talking about earlier. Check Razor's going for the Skulltula in the guardhouse here. A nice little opening.
And just like that, big adult trade quest is dead. One less terrible check they have to.
Okay, so Digital Hobo finishing up the archery game, or the, not archery, slingshot game. Just a piece of heart there as well. And we can go get the egg from Malin here. And it does look like Hobo's gonna at least check this stone. Skull Mask yields a blue rupee, so that feels real good to know that that's not required. That means you don't have to touch the mask shop. You can tell that creepy guy to go away.
That's one of those checks that.
Oh, okay. So we've got a beanstalk in the crater leads to a magic meter. What that means is they will need either Bolero of Fire and a bean or the hover boots to get a hold of that magic meter.
Just saw a hint for 30 skulls holding an ice trap, so 30 skulls is obviously required for this seed.
That was like the world's quickest child pedestal check from Digital Hobo. I think I saw Forest Fire job. Uh-huh. Looks like Song of Storms is our Ocarina of Time song today. And it looks like the Forest Medallion is on Dodongo's Cavern. Fire is on Shadow Temple. Spirit and Shadow Shadow and Spirit are Spirit and Deku Tree, respectively.
Well, hopefully we don't. Hopefully nothing terrible is on Nocturne check. We're not going to be seeing that one for a little while. At least we know Zelda's Lullaby cannot be on Burning Cack, but that's.
Yep, very true. Zelda's Lullaby, of course, is a hard requirement for completing Shadow Temple. It is a possible requirement for Water and Spirit. But other than that... And it's also a definite requirement for Jabba Jabba's Belly. Well, not necessarily. You could get there via the lake. I sometimes do not know what I'm talking about. If that weren't readily apparent. Checkray is doing this nice little jump here to get up on top of the roofs in Kakariko Village. This is something I've learned recently how to do. And the aeronaut is about to get the fishing over with. Whoa! We've got a mirror shield from the roof guy.
Nice
So
find.
that is a logically hookshot locked mirror shield. So that means that you will not find at least one of the hookshots behind that mirror shield. It's a little bit of information you can put to good. Oh, and we got bombs! Right there in the grotto, the back grotto for Kakariko Village.
I think Checkray is going to head straight toward Dodongo here in a moment. That Force Medallion. Hoping to see something good on that song.
Oh, absolutely. The bombs are just basically the best thing you want to find early, especially if you go early adult, because when you got Dodongo's Cavern, you're just gonna go do it. All right, so Checkray finds Epona's song here at the Wind. As does Grim. So Epona's song will get us access over to Gerudo Valley and a little bit faster traversing of Hyrule Field in the adult world of a bug in a bottle, which leads me to start thinking about Skulltula situations, though we have seen the 30 and 50 skulls hints. 30 being an ice trap, which you don't want, and 50 is a wallet, which can be logically required, but not likely.
Again, this stream is all about memes, so that 30 skull ice trap is definitely required. We need to see that.
All right, piece of heart in the shield chest. And Grim is now headed for Dompe Race. Just bombs on the graveyard crate item.
Before we get too far in, just want to give a shout out to our 4 trackers today. Sigma, Bleeding Blue, Yoshi, and Mama Sheepy. God knows we could not do this.
Yeah, I can't even do my own tracker. All right, Dompe Race number 1 for Grim Fairy 27 should be finishing pretty soon.
Dompe's been practicing up on his Call of Duty with those snipes.
Wreck. And the chest contains the single green rupee. All right, now we're good.
Run. There's no.
All right, Dompe Race number 2, everybody's favorite minute-long dash. The aeronaut now checking some of the locations that our other runners have checked. Getting that done. Now, the aeronaut is coming out to Hyrule Castle, and it's almost nightfall, so I kind of expect
Grim,
a,
no!
Ooh, yeah, Grim gets bodied by the
Ouch.
second door there. Unfortunately. A little too much fire, I think.
The legendary snipe from Dompe.
Anyways, the aeronaut is... Ooh, there are 20 rupees in that box, and I did not know that. Anyway, taking care of puppy time. And I imagine the song for Zelda's Lullaby location will be coming soon.
Grim got nailed again. 2
That
void
is
outs on Dompe.
Oh
Second
my
Dompe.
goodness, second Dompe is a trap! I was like, a scale? Nope.
You guys actually baited me so hard. I didn't see the first time and reloaded the stream of Grim to refresh his delay because I thought you were so far ahead because I saw him getting wrecked a second time. Shit. Sorry for that, guys. I'm kind of not on top right now.
No problem, no problem. Alright, so the aeronaut is going to go check what song is on Zelda's Lullaby. We, of course, have Epona's song already from the Windmill. And Checkraise is going to check the Redead Grotto here in Kakariko Village. Bigoron Sword making short work of these jerks. One piece of heart as well, and that's about it. Digital Hobo getting jebaited as well.
So, kind of a slow start. The bombs are helpful, but not a whole lot in this first 12, 13.
Yeah. Though I imagine we will be heading directly into Dodongo's cavern. And then or we might go to DC or to Goron City first. As we have been... well, the aeronaut knows this, but nobody else does. We have Goron City is Way of the Hero. So that's a interesting piece of knowledge. The aeronaut, of course, employing tactical chicken strats to get rid of Talon there. What's up?
I was having a bit of stream delay issues myself. Looks like while I was resetting, looks like Aeronaut picked up some chews. So that'll be nice for him to go around Hyrule until he gets that bomb bag.
Okay, so we have the Requiem of Spirit today on Zelda's Lullaby. That, of course, gives us access to Desert Colossus, and, of course, the Child Side of Spirit Temple, assuming we can find ourselves a ranged weapon. Though I guess you could theoretically do bomb chew strats. Yep, there is another song out at Spirit Temple as well.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Aeronaut go check that before he goes.
Well, it looks like he's heading directly to the Temple of Time, so he's going to be finding those, the bomb bag and such pretty soon as well.
Frogs 2 also dead. Seeds killing off everything that Chad always hopes.
All right. So check raise, having checked quite a bit of Dodongo's Cavern already. Hey, there's a free Deku Shield on top. I am certainly not saying no to a free Deku Shield.
Especially with the medallion Deku, that'll come very handy here.
It has been a long time since I've seen a seed where Deku wasn't required in some amount.
I have a friend that's had back-to-back Deku Tree Baron seeds the last couple nights. He is less than thrilled about it.
Digital Hobo is heading through the Boulder Maze here in Goron City. As we know, Goron City being Way of the Hero, we can potentially find some interesting things. Though not in that particular part of the maze. We've got the ice trap hint again, so found both 30 skull hints now.
Hobo's skipping the Metagoron hint. Hopefully that one doesn't come back to bite him.
Alright, Digital Hobo heading to check the Lost Woods Grotto here near Goron City. Ooh, the double defense has been acquired for check raise. That is basically my favorite item to find because I am a scrub.
Nairu's Love is still on logic in one-hit KO. Do not forget that. Always useful.
Another useful thing just used by check raise that I've found recently is that bomb pot there in the back. And it does look like check raise just picked up the Prelude of Light from Malon. Or not check raise, the Aeronaut. Excuse me.
Be useful for routing purposes later.
Yeah, I do love having me some Prelude. Alright, so Digital Hobo is going for was going for the hook-shotless, bowless Mito skip, but apparently it wasn't happening. And check raise is about to finish off King Dodongo. Unfortunately, the way the health works out on King Dodongo, there's no way to one-cycle him, even with the Big Goron sword. Like, right now, he's got no health, but you can't kill him with a bomb. Has to be with a hit.
That's got to be one of the holy grail tricks for MST. Maybe one day someone will find a way to one-cycle that. Now, question is, does Hobo immediately rush Deku Tree with that Deku Shield?
Alright, so the Aeronaut decided to walk out of Lon Lon Ranch and head over toward Kakariko as a child. So he's going to get a lot of these checks taken care of as well. He won't get the adult Anju check, of course, nor will he get the Dompe race checks, but those are pretty much garbage, as we know. But it may be chicken time.
Well, it may be a little bit of a walk, but he will get those bombs. And we all know Anju likes to hide stuff on her.
Now, Check Gray's going to get his free Deku Shield. Of course, making use of the fact that a recently thrown cuckoo will always run away from you. So if you accidentally landed on sort of the edge there, as long as you are on the correct side of that cuckoo, it will run into the fence.
All these little things you never think of while playing this game as a child, or at least when I was a kid. Stuff like cuckoo routing. Amazing how much time.
Alright, so the Aeronaut picking up the bomb bag and the mirror shield. And it looks like Hobo is headed for Lon Lon.
Now, with Sun Song, Mike's the Aeronaut for Dompe digging as well. That's going to be hard for some other people to route that in if they don't go check Zelda first.
I don't think he picked up Sun Song.
Yeah, you're right. I'm mixing up seeds. Commentating's hard.
Commentating is hard. He picked up Prelude is the thing. Which, you know, it's yellow.
Requiem is also yellow.
The best possible reward there for chickens. Not really. I know that a lot of the top-end runners now some of them like to just completely skip out on the chicken's check if possible.
I know that people like to skip it, but when you have a seed like the recent qualifier where you had 2 strengths on chickens and on skull mask, that's got to make you pause on thinking about skipping those in the future. Those who haven't seen, we recently hit 150 subs on ZSR, so we hit a sub goal for Trez's next Hell Sanity seed. We have a new sub goal at 200 subs. It's going to be a 3D rando relay race. 3D in quotes, with A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the Wind Waker randos, one after another in teams.
Well, alright then. Alright, so Digital Hobo is getting himself directly out of Lon Lon Ranch after seeing that blue rupee. Meanwhile, Grim Fairy is heading over to these Hyrule field checks. And the aeronaut is getting some beans. Ooh, we've found the lens of truth in the business scrub grotto outside of Lake Hylia.
That lens logic is always a pain. It's going to be nice in brackets when you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yep, let's just hope you can remember how to do all the things without the lens. The one thing I don't absolutely know how to do is the wasteland going forward without the lens. I figured out how to do it backwards.
You never... Well, I take back everything I just said. There's 5 gift subs from B. Luigi. Thank you very much, B.
Azure with the top tier sub, or top tier pun there. And B of course, with the top tier sub gifts. Thanks a lot there. That is a boomerang, ladies and gentlemen, in Deku Tree. Now, as we know, the Jabba Jabba's belly is not required, so the one location that really requires the boomerang is not here, but that can still be pretty useful for gathering Skulltulas and various other implements that you want. We got another heart for Digital Hobo. And a hammer! My goodness. Anybody feeling some Song of Storms? Because we've got hammer, we've got boomerang. The 2 major items for 2 of our stone dungeons.
The well always likes to hold something in reserve.
Alright, so a whole huge chunk of change for Digital Hobo here in Deku Tree. Meanwhile, the aeronaut is in Zora's domain. We can see what sort of wonderful things we find in there. Hey, a Deku Nut upgrade. I am certainly not saying no to that. Alright, so Grim Fairy is checking the Bomb Chew bowling game.
So thrilled with that piece of heart, he's aiming for the girl behind the counter.
And that's going to do it. Nothing there today. Just a couple of pieces of heart. Hobo going for the Skulltula on the vines over here with bomb. Then realizing, wait, I've got a boomerang. So getting the bombs ready, because I imagine a ground jump will be happening here. That is not the setup I'm familiar with, but it works. Now we get to see Hobo doing the stick trick up here. Just means you have to push that block a little less. And now we do some 23 is number 1 situation here. And we've got Breakdancing Link. Looks like Lost Woods is barren today.
Cuts out quite a few checks. Removes Slingshot from anything necessary, so you can ignore a couple of them.
Yep, and you don't have to do the Ocarina game, or, you know, a couple of grottos there. Plenty of different things in the Lost Woods that we do not need to check. And as we know already, Big Ron's crafting is pointless. Next, another blue rupee from Queen Goma, and Digital Hobo picks up the medallion from the Deku Tree. I was like, wait, which song did we get from Dodongo's Cavern? Turns out it was Serenade.
And without the benefit of that hint, here goes Hobo into his barren form.
And we get that the graveyard is on the way of the hero. So Graveyard Way of the Hero, if I'm not mistaken, Dompe race, both Dompe races were garbage. Piece of heart in the grave,
Shield
the
grave.
shield grave. Bombs on the crate. So Sunsong Grave, or
Could
maybe
be Sunsong Grave. Could be Composer Grave
Could
itself.
be Composer
Sunsong.
Grave.
Or everybody's favorite RNG game, Dompe Digging.
Yeah, luckily it's not RNG today. So apparently Digital Hobo is trying to learn the Song of Soaring here. Oh, never mind.
It's been cut down a lot, but let's see some resident sleepers in the chat for the ocarina.
Oh,
Perfect.
ice trap for the...
Perfect reward for that.
More like Resident Freezer, am I right?
Oh god, that's a Crimson A level pun right there.
Alright, so once again, both of our, Deku Tree runners getting the hammer. So I would not be surprised to see, Jabu Jabu or Fire Temple or both being required at some point.
Still can't do Jabu yet without the letter, but I could definitely see people making a fire play, at least early fire play next time they go.
Now this chest is not in the Lost Woods, it's in the Sacred Forest Meadow. That's a different place. Just turns out to be 200 rupees, but I certainly wouldn't say no to that sitting at 30.
His child-sized wallet can't hold all that money.
I wonder if we could make it where, like in the Wind Waker, if you can't hold the money in the chest, it puts it back. We've got Vanilla Saria's song today.
Well, there's our Forest Temple access, yet another stone dungeon rearing its ugly.
In order to get actual access, though, we of course need the hook shot. And
That's the one
the bow.
That's the thing about Stone Forest. You're always going to have the items for it. So you never really discount it not having. No, have not seen a hint for Nocturne yet, as far as I know.
So also, we just found out that Hyrule Castle is Way of the Hero, as well as Forest Temple. So with Hyrule Castle being Way of the Hero, that could mean
Skull Mask is dead, so it would have to be Requiem at that point, right?
Could be Requiem. The other thing is the fairy fountain in Hyrule Castle, right?
Yeah, I always forget about that one.
But yeah, the Hyrule Castle specifically means just the Zelda's Lullaby check and that fairy check. The rest of it, like the outside stuff, is market. Or the stuff in the town, anyway.
I think we'll see Hobo make a beeline for Din's. I think I'm gonna sword Hyrule just to check out what's.
Is that what's there in Vanilla? Din's Fire?
Yeah, that is the Din's Fire fairy in Vanilla.
Cool. It has been so long I cannot remember which fairy has what. Alright, so Digital Hobo is going for the child rolling Goron here. As we do know that Goron City is Way of the Hero, this could be important. How about no?
I'd say that's very important right there, actually.
And Check Raise is going for Spirit Temple right now. All I have to say is be careful with that shield. Yeah, he's got no trouble there. Yeah, the Child Spirit play could be pretty good here.
Could be ZL, could be Nocturne out there on Requiem.
I based on the tracker I'm seeing, it might be that it actually was Zelda's Lullaby while I wasn't looking.
Well, never mind then. Ignore the Nocturne then. Gotta see that one soon though, as is the medallion.
Some reason the boomerang keeps going to the left. Anyway, Check Raise heading in to check these two chests here in Spirit Temple. We've got a small key, which is always useful.
Well,
Meanwhile,
that key on the
Digital Hook-
child's side is logically required. Spirit Temple key logic is a pain, but all keys are required for Twin Rova.
In the logic, that is the case, though usually if you play your cards right, or your keys right, I guess, you can get by with just 3 small keys. And 2 small keys for check raisers. That is, of course, going to be pretty big. Yeah, when you have 2 small keys over there, it's basically a guaranteed requirement.
Yeah, I would imagine that adult side is barren of keys in those first 2 checks. Seed forcing the double.
I'm trying to figure out what Check Raise is doing here, but I think he might be going for that Skulltula. No, he's just going through. Interesting. Just going to continue through the dungeon as if this were vanilla.
Get a couple cheap skulls. Always good to try and pick up 20 skulls as quick as possible. So, on the off chance 40 is required, you'll be halfway.
I saw a 40. I think it wasn't required. I like how these Lizalfos in this room are just complete jebaited. They're just here to annoy you.
Check Raise having a little bit of a tough time with this boomerang here. The arc of that boomerang is always a bit of fun.
Alright, boss key also available. Now, Check Raise is setting up that door to the upper area, but I think he'll probably go for the map chest first.
No adult fire source. Even if you had the 2 strings, I think you still have to check this and the rupee room as
The ever so useful Stone of Agony. You need that for hints, right?
Not anymore. Hints, as a part of the tourney settings, hints are always on.
Right. I was just being facetious, as the case is.
The almighty paperweight. Behold its glory.
And Binary Hobo making his way up to the Zora's Domain entrance. Looks like he's gonna try to grab this Skulltula before the... No, he's just grabbing the Cuckoo. Oh, I see. He's gonna break in. Or he was gonna try to break in anyway. Now he's using the Requiem play here. Alright, we're gonna get some torches lit here for Check Raise. That'll get us one more chest here.
We just saw Zelda's Lullaby out here. There's Hobo getting it on.
Yeah, and I believe Check Raise actually already has it, so we are good in that department. Let's see what we find here. It is a heart container, which,
And,
you know, not bad considering we're about to go fight Iron Knuckle.
and Hobo deciding to bail. I don't know, I thought we were going back adult. Not sure where we're going at the moment.
I think you might be going for that fairy check.
Not a bad play. Find out for sure what was Way of the Hero.
Alright, Check Raise setting up the broken Deku stick so that we can just completely massacre this guy. Getting right next to his left foot and just wailing. That's kind of how you do it. Alright, Silver Gauntlet's chest is just a piece of heart.
This has been a long child one from Hobo. He's got to be. And I think we just had a bow on 10 skulls.
And a hook shot at the fairy in Hyrule Castle.
Okay. So we both could be Way of the Hero then.
That is very true. Just because one of them is Way of the Hero does not mean the other one isn't. That's just the way it goes. It just picks one of them at.
Dompe was hiding a Hylian shield on digging. Looks like he stole the shield from the shield grave and replaced it with a piece of heart. Well,
Okay.
between that hook shot and bow, Force is looking a lot more appealing once you go back adult. Assuming you find both, being that Way of the Hero hint.
Yeah, I definitely feel some forest coming on. Alright, so the current song loadout, we've got Zelda's Lullaby from the Requiem location. We got Epona's song at the windmill. We got Requiem at Zelda's Lullaby. We got from the Prelude location, we got Serenade of Water, and we got the Prelude of Light from Malin, as well as Saria's song from Saria.
Vanilla song? Is this even rando?
I mean, let's be fair. Vanilla Song is probably the least surprising vanilla thing you will ever see in this randomizer.
Hobo gonna walk himself over to that composer grave check. I haven't
Alright.
seen anything Way of the Hero yet, so this very well could be this song, Way of...
Yeah, oh. What are we doing? We're not getting the song? Oh, I guess he's gonna go plant the bean?
Maybe take a look first. There is always that composer grave torches chest. And if that's the Way of the Hero, that's gonna be a little...
Yeah, though the, I believe in the most recent rules discussion, they decided to allow the flame storage glitch, which does make it possible for someone to light these torches in the current state. It's pretty tight timing. That's all I have to say. I think Nocturne is most likely here. And it is Nocturne.
So that's probably our Way of the Hero for the,
For the graveyard. And Hobo, not gonna bother with the flame storage. We're just gonna get on out of here.
looks like he wants to check that Desert Fairy. Don't know if he'll still pop in for Child Spirit or not, now that he's got that hook.
Now, Check Raise is going to be heading into Goron City from the Lost Woods, knowing, of course, that the Lost Woods is, as the game says now, a foolish choice, not checking any of those locations there.
That Goron City Way of the Hero hand, I'm thinking we might see a vanilla strength here from Darunia.
Very well could be. Nope, just some bombs. But we've still got a few other things we can check, like this Goron pot out here. Everybody's favorite chucking bombs at faces game.
Fun note, I was just informed of a couple races ago. If you hop in the pot, you void out. Not really don't know if that could be put to good use, but apparently that voids you. Go fig.
Interesting. So it looks like the aeronaut is headed back into Spirit Temple. Oh wait, no, he hasn't been in here.
You know, if I'm playing the seed, I'm starting to get real worried. Because we're...
Whoa! I see iron boots.
Is it real or is it a trap?
It is real.
Oh, that's our Goron City Way of the Hero then. I think that's all the Way of the Heroes now, or is there one left?
We haven't been to Forest Temple yet.
Very true. So, I'm getting real worried if I'm playing this seed, because we're a letter in a bottle away from having all dungeons in...
Mm-hmm. We do have Nocturne. It was on the Composer Grave song.
And another fool there from Check Raid. The freestanding models is maybe the best update to Rando so far, if only for the ice traps. So much.
Alright, Check Razor's now heading into Kakariko Village.
And
So we know
rip
that there's
Hobo
a-
shield.
So we know that there's a bow on 10 skulls. So the first one of our runners to piece together both the hookshot and the bow will probably head directly to Forest Temple, if I had to guess. Does look like Check Raise is making a point to grab a bunch of skulls. Alright, so Check Raise picks up his bow.
Is Hobo the only one who's gotten the hint for Hyrule Castle Way?
I'm not sure.
I wonder how many people. I wonder if these the other three will rush toward Din's without that hint, because that hookshot could be blocking a lot of.
Oh yeah, good point from B. Luigi. You do in fact need the strength upgrade to actually clear Forest Temple as well. But of course, you may not need to completely clear it. We just know it's Way of the Hero. And now finally Digital Hobo going for Dodongo's. I mean, do you want me to answer that, Tresco? Because there is a canonical answer. It's a woodchuck all the way to could chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, I'm done with that.
I think Trez's mind is shot from too many restreams today.
Okay. So we got Grim Fairy finishing out Child Spirit. Got the Aeronaut going for the Nehru's Love check. That is Nehru's Love, right?
Yes, that is check. I may have played this game one too many times as a child. Most of it's kind of burned into memory.
I was more of an adolescent when this came out, but same thing here. So we got check raise heading to as an adult, which means he does not have that hook shot. Anyone who goes directly to the Temple of Time and skips out on Hyrule Castle Ferry is going to get rudely deprived of a hook shot.
Where was that Hyrule Castle Way of the Hero?
Well, I know there was one at the, like, right next to the Forest Temple.
People should be getting that one. Hopefully the other one, too bad of a...
Yeah, the thing is, though, they got Hyrule Castle Way of the Hero. They're just gonna assume it's Requiem. You know. Alright, so Digital Hobo gets that double defense upgrade. That's basically the only thing of any note in Dodongo's Cavern, if I recall correctly.
I have a feeling that hookshot's going to troll quite a few people this season.
Alright, and it looks like the Aeronaut is about to locate the Iron Boots.
So if I'm playing this, I think if I have that hook shot, I think the next play is to Forest. I might start thinking about GTG without that hook shot, though. So might see a few people make the hook shotless GTG play.
Oh yeah, that is another little trick that was recently allowed. Hookshotless GTG is an interesting trick because it involves like two parts. One, you've got to get yourself grabbed so that you can pick up the last silver rupee in the room with all the hookshot targets, and then you've got to find a way to jump across some fire or slide across some firewalls in there. It's a pretty interesting trick, and I pulled it off a couple times. Though, the first time I pulled it off, I also didn't have any bombs, and I was unaware that you needed to ground jump to finish it.
Oh, we're gonna get a look at the left side of the Goron maze from Check Raise with that hammer and
And what do we have here? It's a lift upgrade! Hello!
well, there's our first strength. So now, as soon as people get that hook shot, I think they're going to head toward forest. Especially if they get that bow first.
Yeah, and so I'm not gonna lie. Once
Speaking of which, Aeronaut just found that hook shot.
all right. So with hookshot and bow, that seems like a pretty big deal for Aeronaut. I'm not gonna lie. If we can get a Ruto's letter in a bottle, all the stones are clearable. Whoa! There is our Din's Fire from Link the Goron, which I am entirely surprised no one had done yet.
Check Ray is going to go see that Metagoron hint now. Integer figure trials are off, so there will be a hint for the light arrows at Ganon.
It's actually having the Ganon's boss key off that does that. That's the reason the hint is there. Pretty.
I always forget those two are separate. You just never see one. You almost never see one without the other.
Right, of course. Nope, it's trials. Okay.
Well, because if you have trials on, light arrows are required, so you don't need.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. Sorry. I don't know where I got that.
Hobo picking up his strength. We might see a forest play right now from him. Don't know how many skulls he has. He's not marking on his tracker, so unless maybe he happens to find another bow here.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's not quite 10. Last I saw.
Bow was on 10 skulls.
Speaking of bow, we're gonna get to see the Aeronaut doing a good old bow shooting gallery here.
And a silver scale for check raise. Where was that grotto?
Looks like it
in Death Mountain.
Yeah, Death Mountain Crater Grotto has a scale. So yeah, this would be weird if we want to talk weird logic. You could have the wallets be required in order to unfreeze Zora, and what would be hilarious is if Zora had Ruto's letter.
That might be the best item to find in the game. With the fat fish holding his daughter's letter for 7.
Alright, so there is Bolero of Fire in its vanilla location, which actually gives us access to that magic meter.
I thought we were gonna see the. Yeah, we will see the volcano fairy from.
Alright, there is the other Hyrule Castle Way of the Hero hint for check raise.
Question is, how long does it take him to go back for that hook?
It's a good question. And for all we know, there could be another hookshot available, so you
And
never know.
if that's the case, is that telling us long shot is required for all dungeons or for more?
Well, I mean, we have to do Water Temple either way, so
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of messed up logic, I keep waiting for the one seed where Faror's Wind ends up as Way of the Hero. The logic on a seed like that must be insane.
Roy's Wind being Way of the Hero. I can think of exactly one possibility for that. And that is it's like a high number of skulls seed, and you have to get the one in the middle of Water Temple, and you don't have the long shot.
Yeah, if that seed ever makes its way out, good lord, will that logic puzzle.
Yeah, I only know this because I read the patch notes religiously, and there was one where they talked about Ferrari's Wind being a way of unlocking that. Alright, Sun Song on the Minuet location. And the aeronaut is gonna get debated by Dompe.
Oh, I was watching a seed recently that had Gerudo's letter on 40 skulls, and there were only 40 skulls in logic, as it was beatable only, no hookshot, and no rang. So it could be possible at some point. Yeah, if say hookshot's on 50 skulls and there's only 50 available, yeah, it very well could be.
Yeah, I played a seed the other day where you didn't have the boomerang or the hookshot, and one of the progression items was on 40 skulls, and there were exactly 40 skulls available. It's ridiculous.
I think that's the one I just mentioned. That demon spawn that Spike Vegeta unleashed on.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yes. My problem is I had 39 and I couldn't figure out which one I skipped.
Yeah, that one's a candidate for worst seed ever made. Hobo getting bodied by this club. He just can't seem to get out away from.
Alright, so Hobo grabs the Sun Song here as well, and so he's got access to the hookshot and a lift upgrade, but not the bow. He is going to go ahead and head into Forest Temple, though, which does seem like a reasonable play. He can only really check 2 chests here, but those could be the way of the hero, so who knows?
No bow, no song of time locks a lot of this dungeon.
And so Hobo has 9 skulls now, as we can see. And he will be able to get a 10th in here, and that will get him enough for the...
I think he's already done Adult Cac, though, so I don't know if he'll go back there very soon.
Yeah, who knows? It would be in his best interest, but of course we have no way of... Or he has no way of knowing. Speaking of in their best interest, looks like Check Raise is going to go get that hookshot. And meanwhile, Hobo is headed for the only other chest in forest he can actually get, though I imagine he'll also pick up this skull on the way in.
Aranat following everybody else into Dongo.
Alright, so Check Rays grabs the hookshot, immediately plays the Prelude of Light, which I don't think anyone is particularly surprised by that turn of events.
Always clear dungeons, folks.
But yeah, Check Rays is the first of our runners to actually have the entire forest package here.
Aeronaut's got them both, but he's currently distracted by Dodon.
Yeah, and I don't think he has the lift upgrade.
Yes, you are correct there.
So that's the thing. Check Rays has all three of those things: the lift upgrade, the hammer, and the hook shot. Check Rays, of course, busting out the Nocturne to get up here a little quicker. No keys for Hobo.
Finds himself locked out of forest. Going back
He
to
is in a
child, not
bow
sure where we're
situation. And Digital Hobo is planting the bean in the crater because that is going to get you access to that magic meter, as we know from the hints.
And no one else has gotten the song yet, so no one else has been able to go do that.
Meanwhile, with that scale, Digital Hobo will be heading up.
Did not see what was on the Gerudo bottle, but obviously if Hobo's swimming right past it, it's probably not worth it.
And he is setting up his Scarecrow song. And Check Rays gets the Bolero of Fire. What is that? It's a wallet. So that
we're getting closer to that 50 skull.
Yeah, if you need the other wallet, and the only reason you would ever need it is to either buy a Zora tunic in Logic, which nobody's gonna do that, or to buy Blue Fire to unfreeze Zora. And if that has Ruto's letter, I'm just gonna crack up.
That or a letter just being trapped in the ice cap. Well, wait, scratch that. This isn't.
That doesn't work.
This isn't multi-world. There's no cheating glitches allowed here.
And it's not beatable only either. So.
If the glitch logic ever becomes a thing, we could actually see that.
It is tough to get to the central pillar chest without Zoro Tunic. If you get enough hearts, it's pretty doable. Apparently, the treasure chest game grants Ferrari's wind.
Well, unfortunately, I have a feeling we won't be seeing that one today.
And Grim Fairy finally taking care of the Lon checks.
Hobo heading back toward CAC. Might be going for those skulls. He'll be... Oh, he's doing Dompe. And then might get that bow. Be very happy if he does get the... Does turn in those skulls.
He's also going to get the Sun Song check out of the way. Meanwhile, from Check Rays, who has decided to raid the Forest Temple in its entirety, we're about to see some new information. Now, granted, completing the Forest Temple isn't entirely in logic at the moment. It is possible, if you do this little trick over here to hookshot yourself up onto some vines. Oh, there's another magic meter. Though I believe, because of the way this has unfolded, I think that can't be the Way of the Hero item. To believe the Way of the Hero is put together, it has to be the only way you can get it. Oh yeah, you can iron boots through the well. I did not think of that. Chat, of course, smarter than me, as usual.
Yeah, chat is the unofficial third commentator. We'd be lost without them.
Yeah, the only way in logic. And the thing is, the other magic meter is 100% in logic right now, so I think that cannot be the Way of the Hero item. Alright, there is a small key. That's the first small key that we've found here. I mean, I don't think it can be a fool because it was a hint, right? So the hint said it was a magic meter up there.
Trez, you better be careful. We might put you to work as that third commentator here.
Was Bomb Bag or Silver Scale completely in logic too? Yeah, Bomb Bag was. Absolutely. Bomb Bag was in the back grotto of Kakariko. And there's those iron boots for Digital Hobo. But a it does look like he skipped out on the skull turn-in for now, which is unfortunate for him. There's our boss key for the Forest Temple. And today I learned you can side hop down to this level.
Still haven't seen that Way of the Hero item. I might end up having to go all the way through. And no forest wind to cheese back up top. Slow Forest Temple today.
Yep. Alright, so Digital Hobo is going to get that magic meter. So when he heads through Forest Temple, finally he'll get double magic meter.
Oh, looks like Hobo's making a play for the first couple checks in the shadow.
Not yet.
Well, maybe he's doing.
He's
No!
going for the fire chest here. Alright. So check Ray's gonna head over to the Floor Master room, which is everyone's favorite room in Forest Temple. Just a heart container, so we can pretty much confirm now that the Graveyard Way of the Hero was just Nocturne.
Now it looks like we're getting those 2 shadow checks.
Yeah, first 2 in Shadow is an interesting play and can sometimes pay off big time. Vanilla hover boots are a thing, and I have seen them.
Unfortunately, one of the dungeon dives that does not lose you time is you're going to always do those 2 anyways, and if you come back, you can just skip them.
Very true. Very minimal time loss from this. Only the time necessary to get back into the dungeon, which is not much. Hey, and there's a resubscribe from Koinu93, which if I'm not mistaken is Japanese for puppy. Gold scale. Interesting. From the first couple chests, or the first chest here in Shadow, that could logically unlock the diving in the lab. Though, of course, most of the runners know how to cheese that with the hook shot and the iron boot. And we've got one dead hand. Nehru's love in Forest Temple. Pretty sure that doesn't count as Way of the Hero.
Yeah, but you can never be too safe. You always want to carry a condom around.
Oh boy. Always use protection, ladies and gentlemen. And Digital Hobo finally locates that bow. And he's playing Bolero of Fire, interestingly enough. Ah, because this is the quickest way to get to forest. Duh. Sorry. And we've got another small key for forest. So it looks like the last 3 chests hold the elusive Way of the Hero item.
Yep, looks like we're making the deep Phantom Ganon run.
Now it's
Ouch.
time for This Game is Programmed Well. Because you definitely do not have to hit that ice switch to actually to activate it. You just need to melt the ice.
Good old Din's Fire cheese strats.
Alright, we got Hobo going for ground jump strats here in Sacred Forest Meadow. Hover boots! There's our hover boots for check raise in Forest Temple. And it looks like our other 3 runners will all be headed that direction fairly soon.
I have never seen that strat to deal with those guards that Hobo just did, forcing them to run backwards. That's very interesting.
Well, there we go. And it's time for Meg. Hello, Meg.
Hey, even if you don't go down and kill Phantom Ganon at this point, I think it's worth opening the elevator to make it a short trip back later if it's all.
Yeah, very true. Let's see, what are we missing?
Strength and long shot, I believe, is.
Yep,
And
that's
light
it.
arrows, I believe, is it.
And of course the light arrows. But that, of course, will be told where that is. So with those hover boots, I expect Check Raise to probably just, make a beeline for Shadow after this. Well, the other wallet has already been found. The other wallet is on 50 skulls.
Chat demands more rando.
You're not wrong.
I may well be a part of that most of the time, so can't say I'm exactly innocent there.
The third wallet is only used when Shop Sanity is active. It's
Right.
there hidden in the game code, but never actually used.
And check raise is going to go ahead and fight Phantom Ganon.
I mean, at being Way the hero, it's worth finishing out at this point. Because we've all seen plenty of seeds where they hide a second item deep in the.
Yeah, the blue fire would require 2 wallets, so if in the weird scenario that the only way 50 skulls can be required is if that blue fire is required. Oof. Check raise getting a little bit trolled by Phantom Ganon here. And down he goes. The 1 cycle kill with the big Goron sword.
Hobo gonna use that gold. Wow, talking is hard. Hobo using that gold scale to take. No, just a bloopy in the tech.
I think that was purple, but either way, not that important. Meanwhile, Digital Hobo might be heading over to Gerudo Valley at this point.
Certainly a lot more appealing with both bow and hookshot. You can do really everything except toilet at the moment.
Yeah, and who wants to do that?
Every single person here in chat, as long as they don't have to be the ones doing the check.
Have I mentioned that those underwater clams are my actual nemesis in real life?
Hitboxes in this game are a special thing.
There's our prescription. Not particularly useful, this seed, but at least we know we can do it now. It looks like Check Raise is going to get his scale.
And then delve deeper into.
Yeah, Check Raise can, in fact, complete the entirety of the Shadow Temple. And Digital Hobo in with the cheese strats. Accidentally activating the infinite sword glitch, but there is no benefit to that. So that's not a problem. I don't recall seeing a second foolish hint. The only one I remember seeing is Lost Woods, so you could be correct, B. Luigi. And there we go. Digital Hobo now entering Gerudo Training Grounds. There are, I believe, 22 or 23 chests in here. But there are 9 of them guaranteed to be small keys. And Hobo is headed for the southeast room first. Well, we've had a bit of a mess, but it hasn't been that bad. Right now we are missing only the silver gauntlets and the long shot to finish the seed. But this seed could still troll us. We know that the Song of Storms is on the Ocarina of Time, and basically all of those... if we find Ruto's letter, all of these stone dungeons will be available. Alright, so Digital Hobo went and checked the right-hand side of the maze real quick to see if there was anything important. Apparently not particularly impressed with those, and will now head to the left side. Meanwhile, Check Raise has now located 2 small keys here in Shadow Temple, and has also located the boss key. So that's going to leave 3 small keys, and then, of course, plenty of other items to search for.
Bunch of early keys here for Hobo and GTG.
Meanwhile, both of our other runners, the Aeronaut and Grim Fairy, making their way through Forest Temple. The Aeronaut just having picked up those hover boots, and Digital Hobo, or not Digital Hobo, Grim Fairy will be doing the same fairly. Check Raise is making delicate use of those arrows. He's down to just 1, but he does manage to destroy all of the enemies in this room. 2 chests are his reward, along with a Skulltula if he really... Ice arrows!
Well, Bongo Bongo is now in logic.
And some bombs as well. That's going to do that. Digital Hobo taking down the Wolfos in this room, and we find yet another small key, as tends to be the case with Gerudo Training Ground.
I don't know what you're talking about, B. That's the best meat.
Digital Hobo on the eye statue now in Gerudo Training Grounds, while Check Raise is dealing with these silver rupees. Heading into the ceiling spike room. Recently put in the rules, you can backflip onto these spikes if you want to. Hey, a slingshot! Deck your trees in logic. And you may have been joking with the Bongo Bongo thing, but there I was not.
Everyone should get to experience Bongo Bongo with ice arrows.
Whoa!
Long shot!
Check Razors finds the long shot in the Shadow Temple, and we are 1 item away from go mode.
Those silvers, are they hiding in water?
Or at least go find the silly silver arrows mode, or silver arrows, light arrows. Sorry.
Wrong game?
Maybe.
I mean, we are getting an arrow hint, so I suppose it can be excused.
Yeah, it is a little bit disconcerting when people say silvers in this game, and meaning silver gauntlets.
Not to mention that there's 2 silver things in here, so even more to confuse. All these keys for Hobo might be leading us in that center.
Yep, there could very well be something in the center chest, and that would be pretty interesting. Yet another key for check raise. And Hobo has found, I think, all the keys at this point.
On left. It's either here or in the toilet.
Well, I believe he found one on the right-hand side of the maze before he reset.
Oh, he safe scummed that key?
Yeah.
I assumed
Yeah.
he kept it. Well, toilet is an item, so could still see the light arrows down there.
Oh boy. And ladies and gentlemen, it is about time for horseback archery, ladies and gentlemen. I think my favorite thing to do is predict what score they're going to get on the first and second round here.
Have we seen a 2000 on the restream? Highest I can remember, I think Bloody had a 1960 in brackets. One.
2000 is ridiculous. You have to be some sort of... I don't even know. I think my highest score ever is like 1840, and that was some sort of freak show.
I will never understand this strat for horseback archery. Just shoot the pots and...
So we got some 1380, 1280, 1400. There's 1010, 11. All right, 1310 for Digital Hobo. Closest there was Yoshi Kyon. And the silver gauntlets! Holy crap. Horseback archery today. Looks like we're not getting a...
Not even doing
like we're not getting a second
1500,
one.
just bailing.
Yeah. I mean, for all he knows, the long shot could be there, but... I mean, you got Spirit Temple to do at this point. Whoa. I did not know you could jump onto the wheel of the boat.
Those nice little glitchless jumps. Interesting that Hobo's going Spirit over the Way of the Hero Forest. Unless all he needs is his hovers for go mode. Maybe he's banking on the hovers being in force.
So, and of course, Hobo doesn't know where the long shot is either. So...
Ah, yes, long shot. Forgot about that.
And he has finished, he has done as much as he can of Shadow at the moment. Yeah, there was a forest hint in Sacred Forest Meadow, and there was another one somewhere else, I think.
I guess I could see this play. Get the new checks in Spirit as opposed to going... Well, I mean, he's already got the 2 keys, so he can rush through this pretty quick.
Yeah, in fact, there were 3 Way of the Hero hints in Sacred Forest Meadow. There was Hyrule Castle, there was Forest Temple, and there was Graveyard. All right, so check razors, of course, reaching the end of the Shadow Temple boat ride and not having a small key, like you do. So I'm not gonna lie, if I were Digital Hobo, I would have been tempted with that Silver Gauntlets to go back into GTG and check those 4 chests with the likes. Because I'm a scrub and I like to be thorough.
Well, I can see doing... You have the ability to do the medallion dungeon, just get it out of the...
Very true. Alright, Digital Hobo opening a couple of chests here. We've got arrows and a blue root.
This invisible floor master is always a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And there's that key for check raise. He's gonna head into the bongo fight. I wonder if he tries to use the ice arrow strats. Ice arrow strats are actually really hard. Like, it looks cool, but they're really hard.
Well, you could just run up and just do a quick spin, just instead of trying to shoot the eye. Then you could just start spamming away.
Yeah. That implies I'm any good at rotating my control stick. Alright, we got check raise in for the bongo fight. So interestingly enough, this does unlock another song. Ooh, 1 hit shy of the 1 cycle.
We could see Song of Time here. Toilet might be making an appearance after all.
There is that possibility. Of course, it would have to be light arrows at this point, but again, we still have no idea where the light arrows are. I know Chad is probably hoping for light arrows in bottom of the well.
Nah, if I had a choice between well and toilet, I think it's toilet every time.
But I mean, here, in this case, well would mean you'd have to go do all dungeons.
Yes, but toilet gives you the best emote on Twitch, so it's kind of a trade-off.
True facts.
In fact, if we could get a little ZSR toilet going in the chat right now, just praying for the necessary dive down. Nicely done, Doc.
It's like I don't quite have the sub for this channel yet. I might here in a bit, but I do have a garbage toilet emote I can use. Now we have the long shot. It's here in Shadow Temple. Unfortunately. Basically, the only item we could possibly need that's left is the light arrows.
Oh no. Oh no, Rudo's letter has made an appearance.
Uh-oh.
Shadow with the gift sub for Dr. Bob-tastic. Hey, you were right. You did get it here.
Oh, well, I was going to do it myself, but sure. Alright, Check Ray is now entering Water Temple. We know Water Temple is required. Of course, it's kind of a pain to have to do.
Rudo's was one of the invisible chests up in Spirit before the adult Iron Knuckle. That also means the lens is hiding somewhere and was.
We found the Lens of Truth. It was on the grotto just outside of Lake Hylia.
Ah. Well, never mind. And yeah, somebody went nuts in Spike's chat. 200 gifted subs.
That might be a little excessive, but
Somebody invite that guy here.
I'm not going to say no.
Big Goron, unfortunately, is dead. Just a red rupee.
There's another slingshot here in Spirit Temple, so Deku Tree and logic multiple ways. We have gotten the trading quest item. Unfortunately, we know it's dead. And Grim Fairy picks up the long shot.
We are in no mode, actually.
Yeah,
Well, yes. With
minus the light arrows.
No, there is still the toilet for the light arrows.
Yeah, so there's a lot of possibilities here.
Now, here's the question. We have a very quick Water Temple boss key. You just go in, beat Morpha, and run.
Yes. I basically avoid doing as much of Water Temple as I can, if possible.
I mean, I can definitely see killing Morpha to lower the water level, but question is, do you go back in? And yes, Frogs 2 is dead.
Alright, Check Raise is here for Morpha. Time to commence the beatdowns.
So I think Check Raise is ahead, but Hobo's got a decent amount done in a couple dungeons.
Yeah, so the real crux of the matter here is how long does it take Hobo to go back into Forest Temple and get the hover boots, and how long does it take Check Raise to go to Gerudo Valley and do the horseback archery?
I have to think Check Raise is going to Gerudo Valley next. I mean, unless you make the Stone Fire play, I'm not sure where else you go.
Grim Fairy doing some interesting bomb chew strats to get rid of to deal with the skull room here in Shadow Temple.
Chew strats are fun in that room. I wish I was good enough to do that.
I'm not sure why, but Digital Hobo is once again climbing this this wall. I'm not sure what happened.
He got knocked off on that last sliding piece.
Ooh.
Oh, there he goes again.
Well, I mean, like he had lowered the platform into the room for into the statue room. Like he was about to go to the boss. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, that I couldn't tell you. Did he miss a checkup here, maybe?
Yeah, so that's the idea. As soon as you get the chance to go to there, or to go to Ganon, you should, so you can know exactly where the light arrows are. So once Check Raise manages to find the silver gauntlets, which, let's be fair, we don't know that the horseback archery is the only place to get silver gauntlets.
We'll get our first look at adult fishing. Didn't happen to see if Check Raise shot the sun before he walked over here. It doesn't look like there's an item over there, so he may not.
I believe Check Raise shot the sun before going into Water Temple.
Ah. But time for everyone's favorite boss, Troll Robot.
Oh, the lucky shot off the side of the screen there for Hobo. Well played. Hitboxes, what are those?
Hit him off the screen, can't hit him right in front of you. That's this game in a nutshell. This is a well-designed boss. Yeah, Check Race has got to be going to GTG now.
Hey, he's got the horse out. He is gonna pick up the Lens of Truth, though. Having already cleared Shadow.
Logically, you still need it for Spirit. Logic.
And it looks like the aeronaut has managed to destroy Bongo Bongo in that one cycle shot, so very nicely done. Digital Hobo is just not having any luck with Twin Rova here.
I'm honestly not sure which is worse, this boss fight or RNG dumping. Wow, what was that one?
Oh boy.
Alright, legit question, chat.
Which fight is
There
worse?
we go.
Ocarina of Time Twin Rova or Oracle of Ages and Seasons Twin?
You know what? I only did that fight once. So I don't remember.
Well, if there was ever a reason to play the Oracle games, there is the randomizers for each one now, so might as
Oh,
well play vanilla to bone up on the
They made an Ages one?
Ages and Seasons.
Like, I knew there was a Seasons one. I didn't realize there was an Ages one now. Very interesting.
You can actually even do the cross password system between games. I don't believe those items are randomized.
All right, so Digital Hobo finishing off Twin Rova. Finally, we get a purple rupee and a portal.
And I assume we're gonna see our light arrow cutscene check here in a moment. No.
Well, he doesn't have the. No, he's got it. Yeah, I'm dumb. Yeah, he
Big
can do it.
Goron by itself cannot break rocks, but you can store the hammer damage and crouch stab it with any sword
Yeah, the
and
good old.
take out some rocks.
Yeah, the good old power crouch stab situation. Once you use a hammer, if you use a hammer and then start crouch stabbing, that is, use your shield and then start stabbing, you can easily pull that one off. All right, so it looked like Digital Hobo was about to head for Fire Temple and then thought the better of it and decided instead that he's going to head for Goron City and hopefully Forest after this.
Yeah, I don't see another play for Hobo. He's got to go.
Well,
get
he
that
might
way
actually
hero
be
item.
going. He might actually be going to buy a Goron tunic. Okay, good.
I'd say unless
Bypassing that.
unless he thinks that second magic was somehow way the hero in Forest, he's got to go back. Just check raise, make the god play, and go straight to horseback archery.
Doesn't look like it.
Maybe if it was day, but I can see going GGG first at night. Hobo just refuses to ground jump. And I think he even picked up the Scarecrow song. So that way.
Yeah, there is a scarecrow in here. You can also do a really impressive glitchless jump to get up there, which I think I've pulled off like twice.
Josie still can't do toilet, unfortunately. No Song of Time yet.
Yeah, though, if Check-Raise had elected to go to Kakariko, Burning Cack first, he might have gotten the Song of Time. We don't know. Meanwhile, Grim Fairy has managed to find his way into Water Temple. He'll be picking up the boss key here.
Aeronaut did get Song of Time. I see it on his tracker. So if he heads
All right,
to
then.
GTG, we could be seeing the toilet.
Fairy, of course, doing a quick save to get out of here. Get ready for Morpha. Check raise, are you okay? Alright, Digital Hobo has managed to get himself back into Forest Temple. Ah, I think I realized what had happened with Digital Hobo. I don't think he was able to do the hookshot glitch.
And then possibly forgot about the iron.
Right. Because I forgot about the irons. Meanwhile, the aeronaut also picking up the boss key for Water Temple.
I will be right back. We will.
And the aeronaut is going to go ahead and lower the water level, which means the aeronaut apparently intends to full clear water. Check raise, just piecing on through the Silver Rupee room. So shortly, Check raise should finish this, and we'll see if he decides to go to horseback archery, which, as we know, holds that go mode item, or go find the light arrows mode.
Well,
Now-
I'd assume Aeronaut's hoping to find those silvers here in water.
And for all we know, they could be here. Like, there are 2 other upgrades here.
I think I still would have beaten Morpha first, and then gone back.
Alright, so Grim Fairy has finished Water Temple, or has beaten the boss at least.
Grim getting nailed by Toucan Sam, the hardest boss in the game.
So what I don't understand is, in this particular spot, one of the ways to get up here is to call Pierre, the Scarecrow. He has one job. It is to scare crows. And that crow still comes right after you.
Toucan Sam has no fear. Just that bird is just solidifying the fact that all birds in video games are jerks.
Very true. All right, Digital Hobo. So with Digital Hobo, he is going to get the hover boots here in Forest Temple. One thing we know about this is that will put him in, pseudo go mode where he can just head for Ganon and find out where the light arrows are. So I expect him to pick up the hover boots and peace out.
I don't know if being
Would you
where those
would you
hovers
potentially go? Would you potentially go like fight Meg and get the elevator open?
I'd at least fight the third, because then you can always just come back and fight Meg later. But having to go back to get to that third one is just a royal pain.
All right, Check Raise is going to head for the horseback archery. That is going to get him the silver gauntlets.
God, I thought he was going to wait till infinite, but with
Nah,
the
he
sun
was just
song,
grabbing the
we'll
horse.
see. Vanilla for what, Josie?
Oh no, it's definitely all medallions bridge. Check Raise with the ridiculously high score all the way through 1220 on one pass.
Yeah, it is all medallions to spawn the Rainbow Bridge, not just Spirit, Shadow, and the Light Arrows.
And Check Raise picks up the silver gauntlets and immediately plays the Requiem of Spirit, as this is the last dungeon he's going to need to do.
I don't know. I think I might have done 1500 there, searching for lights. Because if that's
Maybe.
Light Arrows, oh, that's going to be a rough trip back.
Now, Grim Fairy is making his way over to Gerudo Valley.
No, we've had
So-
two people do 1000, and both of them bailed after getting the silvers. No one has done 1500 yet. Hobo picking up his protection in forest.
So after this, Hobo will probably head to Shadow Temple to finish that one off, and it'll be a race between Hobo and Check Raisers to see who can get through their dungeon quicker. I imagine Spirit's a little faster. Ooh, Kakiri Forest would be a good hint. Though my pick would still have to be Well, just because not only do you have to go get the Song of Storms, but you also have to dive well and try to find them.
So, did Check Raise only get one key on child side, or
No,
Did
I
he go
believe
ahead and
Check
go?
Raise. I believe Check Raise actually went all the way through child side. Got additional keys while he was at it. I could be making that up.
no? We still want to see GTG because all praise to the mighty toilet.
Ooh, outside castle. Yeah, Bombchu Bowling was heart pieces. That was checked fairly early on, as the bomb bag was just sickeningly early. The Aeronaut finishing off Water Temple. Oh, Grim Fairy with the Galaxy Brain play. Skipping out on GTG, going directly for Gerudo train or horseback archery.
And it looks like Hobo is at least gonna take care of the third foe. I think that's the play here, even if you don't take out Meg.
That does seem reasonable.
If you had Farrors, I could see dropping a Farrors win there, but just trying to get it through Forest takes forever.
And Grim Fairy pulls off a 1300, and that will be silver gauntlets for him.
Yet another person skipping out on 1500. Everyone's gonna feel so bad if that's light arrow.
Problem is, if it's on 1500, you'll know immediately, because it will say Gerudo's Fortress.
You'll know, but at the same time, you'll be kicking yourself for not doing it while you were there.
True. There's Ruto's letter, as we just stated. Check raise, picking that one up. Meanwhile, the aeronaut getting taking care of the diving situation here. Check raise with the long shot can easily bypass this worst room ever.
Nah, Trez, we're gonna go beat Ganondorf with ice arrows in this seat.
That sounds like fun. So checking the IRC, it doesn't look like anyone has finished yet. So that may indicate some particularly difficult to find light arrows.
Metaing can get you in trouble. Don't be pie, ladies and gentlemen. Stay away from the meta.
Alright, check raise about to go up against Twin Rova. Once again, the world's biggest...
I mean, Yoshi, always the possibility of it being a light. And if that's the case, it's Techie's fault. He's cursed the seed.
All right. That's one hit for check raise on Twin Rova. Check raise making use of the hookshot strats to keep the other lady in place while one fires. And that's 3 hits. Oh! Hitboxes, what are those?
Once, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very well-made ball. Obo picking up his long shot. He'll be finish shadow here and then immediately go into water. Go mode water is best water.
All right, Twin Rova has done the fusion dance. He's on fire! Silver Gauntlets were at horseback archery, number 1.
Aeronaut will be picking up his strength, his silvers here in a moment, and maybe we'll finally get to see 1500 on the last program.
All right, Check Razors is the first of our runners on Restream to acquire all 6 medallions. Piece of Heart at the light arrow location, and it's time to go find out where our light arrows are.
And Aeronaut is doing 1500. Is this the play to win this season? Gotta love that emulator aiming Aeronaut has going on here.
Amen. It's a bottle.
Green potion, not entirely useless.
I think it was red.
Never. Oh.
Still not entirely useless, but you know, I'd almost prefer green most of the time, especially with double defense.
I mean, combo randomizer ever appears, we gotta have the Romani Mill.
I mean, Majora's Mask randomizer is a thing. So.
And the 1.1 patch was just hopefully any of those big bugs have been taken care of. Might even be playable now.
And the Ganon's Castle boss key chest is just a shield, a Deku shield. So nothing doing there. I imagine after defeating these Iron Knuckles, we will see a save, and then Check Raise will go find out where the light arrows are.
Speaking of Majora's Mask Rando, Anat just finished his, recently had a sub 3 seed. Further proof that he is not.
Did you say he is not human?
Yes, Anat.
Okay.
Anat confirmed. Robot.
All right. Ganon says, "Outside my castle! Are you kidding me?"
Techie, you curse the seed! How dare you!
Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta go find that third lift upgrade. We are now completely in the dark. So you could make some really huge gambles right now if you wanted to. You could go for, bottom of the well having the gauntlets. You could go for all sorts of ridiculous... You could go for toilet bowl. You could do all sorts of things.
I'm thinking at this point that silver locked. So I'm starting to think it's going to be in the like room in GTG.
So Ocarina of Time song is Song of Storms.
Our two strengths so far were left side of the Goron maze and 1,000 horseback archery.
This is not Scrub Sanity, no. So we should. It's just the first, just the chests and things. No Skull Sanity, no Scrub Sanity, nothing like that.
Yeah, I think if it's not here, I think I'm rushing GTG for the like room.
Yeah, that very well could be it. I think going places that are locked by the other upgrade is a pretty decent.
Although, if Check Ray is going to do that, he should probably... I think he'll go pick up the song at Burning Pack too, and then do Toilet at the same time. I mean, it's a big risk, but you could just rush the all dungeon play now and just play for Song of Storm.
So, child fishing has been done. Strength 2, that is horseback archery. Number 1. So yeah, the outside my castle thing does explain why no one has finished yet.
And now that you said that, watch an at finish in the next minute and a half.
Oh, of course. Was horseback archery actually logically behind left side maze? I don't think so. Because in order to do horseback archery, all you needed was Epona and the bow. And Epona's song was the windmill, and the bow was 10 skulls. So.
And the hammer was in Deku, so I mean they're probably both equally deep in terms of spheres. Silver Spike, first strength was on left side Goron maze. Silver's was on 1000 horseback archery. And at the moment we're looking for golds because the light arrow hint was outside Ganon's cap.
Hey, a Goron tunic.
There is an active bed open for anyone who just popped in. Where are the gold gauntlets? Never mind. That bed has just been closed.
Yeah, this seed is actually ridiculous.
Okay, the bed has been reopened. Everybody get in your bets for where are the gold gauntlets.
We actually got a hint on the skull mask there again. That's not required as well.
Yeah, anyone who skipped this race, I'm starting to think made a pretty good decision.
Alright, Digital Hobo picking up the boss key for Water Temple. Of course, he's gonna finish that off and then go to Ganon and be sorely disappointed. Ocarina of Time is the Song of Storms, which is, of course, going to be required to get into Bottom of the Well and that sort of thing. Check Ray's heading for Ice Cavern, or rather, opening up Zora's Fountain.
Grottos. I never saw a second Baron hit. Did you, Bob?
A second what?
A second Baron hint?
No, I did not. I imagine there might be a second Baron hint up in Zora's Fountain. What do you think?
Well, this has got me thinking. I know there were a bunch of logs, spoiler logs, run through Hamza's program after 4.0 came out. And I remember there was one seed out of like 50,000 or something that had a single Baron hint because only dungeons were Baron. So I'm wondering if there isn't a second Baron hint.
Wait, do we not do Baron dungeons anymore?
There's a hard limit of only one Baron hint per one Baron dungeon hint per.
Okay, yeah. But our other Baron hint was not a dungeon, so. Yeah, Lost Woods Baron is the only one we've seen.
It's possible the second Baron hint is hiding in Zora's Fountain. Nobody's gone there yet.
I mean, that would be my guess, to be honest. So, let's be entirely fair. If I were these runners, and I had the Lens of Truth.
Cloud Eye finishing in first, 239. Well done.
Well done. With this particular setup, I am super surprised.
Yeah, that either means no well or he rushed Ollie.
Could be. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Wasteland chest. Anything in Ice Cavern. Ganon's Castle is a foolish choice. There we go. Congratulations. Now that we already know that.
Wow, those are some really helpful Baron hints.
Alright, so we get check raise heading into Jabu Jabu's belly.
This seed has already been rough. It just got downright mean.
Today I learned that platform isn't a place you can jump on it when you go in that room. And we start picking up small children.
Yoshi, yes, this season it is the first race he has now won. And the letter was in Upper Spirit in one of the invisible chests.
So if I were one of these runners that had gotten the Lens of Truth, upon hearing the news that I need the third upgrade, I would actually go for the treasure chest game. Because it's got Ferrari's Wind. Lens was the grotto outside of Lake Hylia with the scrub in it that sells you a thing for 10 rupees. We're going to see Digital Hobo find out about the unfortunate light arrow placement.
I think it might be worth sticking one of these guys, changing audio to one of these guys. A hint comes up.
There's a second bomb bag here in the Jabu Jabu.
Doesn't necessarily rule out all dungeons. If he hard rushed all dungeons early, he could have gotten that.
Doing the madman plays. Sometimes you gotta go for it.
A couple people have checked it, Techie. People have. Liz, please do not tell us where it is. Please do spoil it.
So the light arrows are, in fact, on the Ganon's Castle ferry. We do not know where the third gold gauntlets are.
Namaha coming in second with a time of 2:04. Once again, GG, well done.
And we see the aeronaut also heading to check the inside of Ganon's castle. Check raise finds another slingshot and decides to peace out. Not going for Baronade. I mean, this is a world-class troll seed. That's all I gotta say.
These late hidden gems are just something.
Yeah, so we managed to get all of the items that we needed for... Oh, yeah, both of those foolish choice hints were here in Zora's
Yeah,
Fountain.
Shadow, I think there was one. I think Marco and Juke were both over 1,000 in one of the.
There is a Deku Stick upgrade for check raise, but again, that is certainly not what we're looking for. Alright, Digital Hobo, upon finding out the news on the water, or on the light arrows, has elected to peace out of Ganon's Tower, or Ganon's Castle, and instead is going to head toward Gerudo Valley. Meanwhile, Grim Fairy has found himself in the Fire Temple.
Namaha,
Namaha.
GG.
Well
We
played
still
on that
haven't-
second place.
We still have not found gold, so if you would be so kind not to tell us yet, it would be appreciated. That, hey, Shadow. It would not surprise me if we don't have another finisher for low.
That would be an impressive score.
And unfortunately, almost guaranteed that whoever gets that score will have it thrown.
All right, Grim Fairy is checking some Fire Temple chests that we haven't seen yet. Now, Fire Temple, of course, tends to be lots and lots of keys. Digital Hobo is heading into the Wasteland. We have not seen the Wasteland chest yet.
I take that back. There is our third place, Juke, coming in at 248. Well done, sir.
I believe we have found all the hints.
Saturn, this seed wasn't bad for the first couple hours, but light arrows are on Ganon's castle Great Fairy, and we don't have gold gauntlets. So, it turned in a hurry.
And Digital Hobo finds them at the Wasteland chest, which, you know, given the fact that some people are done, makes sense.
Damn it. Trez won another bet. Yeah, Spike, I think you made the right call sitting this one out.
It's possible some people went Wasteland and didn't go horseback archery. You know what I mean?
That'd be the Galaxy Brain play. Walking normally out to Spirit without silvers.
Well, I mean, I could see myself, you know, the first time I flew to Spirit, actually, or once I've gotten Fire or Din's Fire, actually going backwards out of Spirit.
Techie,
Check it.
Stop talking before you curse another seed. You've done it.
There's Casey Necro coming in 4th place with a 250.23. Congratulations to him. And Digital Hobo picks up the light arrows. Should be finishing pretty soon. There's Hal Garon finishing in 5th with a 250.49. So yeah, it turns out all this baiting toward the stone dungeons is complete jebaited.
Apparently, that actually is human, folks. He's not even going to be top.
Yeah, there was something in Forest, but you were told that. The rest of the stone dungeons that people are going to, that's turning out to be jebaited. There's Apasher, 7th place.
Yep, those finishes starting to come in now.
Well, I mean, the hints that we received were Lost Woods Baron, Ganon's Castle Baron. But we were told that Forest Temple was Way the hero. Oh. I mean, we haven't seen all of Fire Temple, but I'm pretty sure there's not much left that it could be in Fire Temple. The Ganon's Castle Baron hints were in Zora's Fountain, so good luck. Nobody was gonna get those before going to Ganon's Castle.
Yeah, only if you made the Galaxy Brain all dungeons play would you have gotten that.
Alright, Digital Hobo has now made it to Ganondorf with the light arrows in his possession, and this should be a pretty straightforward run from here. It's got the standard setup of empty bottle, hammer, and light arrows.
And it looks like Grim is making the play toward all dungeons, so he may not be going to the Wasteland for a little while.
And the one cycle Ganondorf for Digital Hobo. And this will be over pretty soon. This is an academic exercise from here. No, the Ganon's Castle Baron hints were only on Zora's Fountain. Both Zora's Fountain hints were Ganon's Castle Baron. Alright, Digital Hobo. On pace for the sub 3 here. quickly done with the first phase of Ganon. And now we're on to the second phase. We'll pick up that Master Sword, 5 more jump slash equivalent hits, and that will finish it off. And the aeronaut, yes, has acquired the light arrows, should be heading up to Ganon pretty quickly as well. And it looks like Grim Fairy is also heading for the Wasteland, so should be picking up the gold gauntlet soon.
Check Rays was in the lead most of this seed. By how things have turned.
And there goes Ganon. Just one more slash and that will be time. And that is time for Digital Hobo. Finishing in 8th place with an official time of 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 33 seconds. Congratulations, Digital Hobo. We'll see if we can get him in to talk about this match. Oh yeah, the seed completely debated me. I would have gone all dungeons probably if I'd had all those items.
And we have Digital Hobo here for a quick interview. GG.
My God, man.
There.
I mean,
GG,
yeah,
sir. GG.
like as early as you got like the boomerang and the hammer, you had to be thinking, "Oh God, it's gonna be an all dungeon seed, isn't it?" And then it just turns out Wasteland. Okay.
So I was pretty sure it wasn't an all dungeon seed with the position of them, because it doesn't technically want us to go into Deku Tree without having a slingshot, and who knows where the slingshot is.
Well, I mean, it'll let you go into Deku Tree without the slingshot, it just won't let you finish it.
Yeah. But so I didn't trust that. The worst case scenario that I thought was it's going to be Gold Gauntlets locked and in Ganon's, and then Gold Gauntlets being in Well. That was like my fear.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking, but turns out not a big deal.
And then I made the dumbest check I could. I was like, I'll go back over there. At first I was like, I'll go into GTG, but I don't really want it to be in GTG. And so I was like, I'll take the stupid guess, and then I can just warp back over there via the going the wrong way. And I fucking lucked out on that.
The luck sack is real, right? Oh, goodness.
So when you see that hint, as the seed's gone, what went through your mind?
It could be anywhere. There's anywhere that Gold Gauntlets could be. So I was like, okay, well, let's clear up the stuff I don't want to run back. Like, I don't want to go back. I didn't want to go back to GTG at any point after checking that again, so I was going to clear up that, then start going into dungeons again, and I really didn't want to do that. It was just hope. Hope that I can make a dumb choice, and it worked out.
The first thing that came to my mind when I saw that hint was, oh, that's why no one's finished.
I keep it down just so I don't let that like throw me, because I've forfeited plenty of races because it's like, oh, someone's finished. I'm like halfway done. I'm not gonna let that distract me.
All right, there we go. We've got 2 more finishes, 3 more finishes now. We've got Alaris Villain in 9th place with a 2:59.56. The Aeronaut, another runner on stream, in 10th place with 3 hours and 21 seconds. And Anatomies, which is everybody's favorite for this tournament, finishing in 11th place with a 3 hours and 33 seconds time.
Now, if only the one thing that really got me was my execution. I did so much really poorly.
I didn't see anything that was too egregious.
I saw I get bodied a couple times by that Moblin in Sacred Forest Meadow, but other
Yep.
There were some Sacred Forest issues there, yeah.
Some really bad ones, and then also I need to learn how to do the slingshot, the hook shot trick against Spirit Temple boss. Because man,
oh yeah, Spirit
that
Temple.
was so bad.
Twinrova did not like you.
That was
today.
a world class Twinrova fight. Good lord.
So, it's quite obvious now. ATZ got 11th place on purpose, so he can get that double first place. You know,
Oh, okay.
that's how it works now.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him just sitting there waiting for.
And now he actually got trolled massively by the Goldens.
Yeah, he probably won all dungeons or something.
There's Marco coming in 13th place.
So, Digital Hobo, congratulations on finishing this seed as well as you did. And I hope this goes well towards your qualification times. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we bring in somebody else?
No, that'll be good for me.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me restream.
No problem. All right, so we had the Aeronaut finish. Looks like Grim Fairy is about to finish as well. And there we go. 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 5 seconds for Grim Fairy, 27 in 14th place. I don't know if we mentioned the 12th place finish. That was Laguerre, finishing in 12th place with a time of 3 hours, 1 minute, and 26 seconds. And you guys want to talk about debated? Check Raise is going back for 1500 archery.
Never leave checks out there like this that takes forever to get back to.
He did manage to nail it on the first try. But it does look like there's a decent chance his next check is going to be the Wasteland, or maybe he goes for the like room and then gets to Wasteland. All right. Looks like, or sounds like, we have been joined by Grim Fairy. Congratulations on finishing that seed. With
Thanks.
That mess of a seed. I think anyone who finishes this seed deserves a congratulations. Let's be fair.
I will say, I was expecting to see for light arrows when I was going up to Ganon for the first time. I was expecting to see bottom of the wall.
Yeah, so were we. And then it was like infinitely worse, right? Because it's like, oh no, now I literally have no information.
Yeah, it was a little bit like, oh, okay, it's just out. there for gold gauntlets, and I have no idea where those those are, and the entire seed is now open.
So, gotta ask you, what did you do to piss off Dompe?
I don't know. That's normal for me, to be honest. Like, Dampe hates my guts, and I don't know what I have ever done to him. I make sure I go to him for Dampe digging as a child, so I don't see why he's got a vendetta against me.
Yeah, and I mean, and he had to give you some ice at the end, you know.
That was the best part. It's like, oh, I finally. Oh, yeah, of course.
Hey, check Ray's located the Kikiri sword.
Well, dead hand is in logic, so there goes the well.
Oh boy. So yeah, that was quite the seed. Luckily, you didn't end up also doing Jabu Jabu, but that fire temple cost you a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I was kind of playing toward a bit of like who hadn't. Well, I mean, I guess it was more like I was thinking of it as I felt behind the entire kind of like race. Actually, like I felt like I was a step slow everywhere. So when like no one had finished and I had gotten up to Ganondorf, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do Ganon's castle what I can, and then do Fire Temple because it is a stone dungeon. I have the ability to full clear it, just in case it is like Song of Storms bottom of the well. I'll do that, and I felt like it was a risk over going back to GTG.
Right, but then when you saw people finish, it's like, eh.
Well, I still was kind of like, maybe it's like near the top of fire, and someone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do Fire Temple because I'm playing for the all seed dungeon seed," and they got their silver gauntlets there, and was like, or even golds, and was like, "Oh, okay," and then that worked out for them, and they were like, "Oh, cool, I can just get straight to the 8 light arrows, and I have to search for gold gauntlets." But
I wonder if anyone did backwards wasteland early and didn't do horseback archery.
did what? Sorry.
I said, I wonder if anyone did backwards wasteland early and didn't do horseback archery.
I believe that happened to Apache,
Uh-huh.
but then he went back for it, like, later.
Yeah, so
if I
one
had,
thing you... Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say if I had reverse wastelanded earlier when I first went to GTG and found silvers on 1,000 horse archery, I would have done the exact same thing that I did in that seed. I mean, I would have reverse wastelanded, I would have found silver gauntlets and left, to be honest, in the 100 wasteland. So I wouldn't have even gone to GTG. I would have gone back. I would have done the same exact thing. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So one thing you may have noticed is, as far as the hints go, there was the Lost Woods being, foolish or barren. The other Baron hint was available, and it was Ganon's Castle Baron.
Oh, was it? Where was it?
It was in Zora's Fountain. Both of the Zora's Fountain hints.
Oh.
Nobody
okay.
was going there before Ganon's Castle. There's no way.
Where was Gerudo's letter?
Spirit Temple. It was in one of the. It was in one of the invisible chests.
Oh, okay. See, I felt like
You
when
were
I had
go-moding
silvers,
it,
I was
right?
like, yeah, I was like, I'll do a couple of the checks along the bottom, and I'll do I actually decided to went back and decided to do the top 2 chests, the boss key chest and then the that backflip mirror shield chest, because I was like, it's hard to get, like, I just didn't want to climb again up there,
Right.
because once you lower that thing to get to the boss door, you're not really getting back up there without climbing the entire way. I was like, I'll hedge my bets and I'll get these 2, so just in case Ganon says light arrows are in the Spirit Temple. But I did keep looking. I did keep waiting. I was like, I'm gonna see Gerudo's letter somewhere along here.
And for those of you keeping score at home, Check Race has managed to locate the gold gauntlets and will be finishing this seed shortly. So that'll be pretty good. So far, we've had up to 20 finishers. For those of you who are watching the chat, I hope you all had a good time with this. So, Grim Fairy, anything else you'd like to say about this mess of a seed?
No. I mean, like,
Would you like to wipe it from your memory?
oh, this could be one of the ones I'm dropping for points here. It's funny because I felt like I play really conservative in the sense of I have been burned on many checks, whether it's because I actively skipped them or forgot them, to the point where like I try and do my best to efficiently check everything, and I felt like that cost me a bit because it felt like there were a couple of dry spells on top of a couple of mistakes I made technically. But overall, like, I guess other than finding out that like that gold gauntlets locked light arrows, it wasn't that bad of a seed. Like up until the end, it was nice.
I mean, you got the top 10 finish here, so I don't know if I'd complain. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with this finish. I'm hoping to do this another. I've got 2 races left, I believe, and I'm hoping to do this another 2 times where I get another like top 15 or within 15 to 20 minute finish of the top 3. Maybe make a push for that top 32. Thanks.
GG, sir. Well done.
Oh, you were 14. Sorry, I was mistaking it for somewhere else. Sorry, I'm dumb.
I figured that it was
you can be numbers. It's top 10-ish.
It's close.
Yeah, right on the edge of that sub 3. It's gotta feel.
And I can't believe that second Baron hit was both of them were Ganon's Castle. I was thinking as I was going through Ganon's Castle, actually, I haven't done Ganon's Castle in a while, and so I actually went into Forest Trial and was like, I got the one chest from killing the Wolfos and went, is this the only chest in here? I don't remember. But like,
yeah, I believe
but
it
like,
is.
I was thinking as I was leaving, I was like, you know, there's still another Baron hit out there. I bet you it's Ganon's Castle. This time it would come into play. The number of times that we get a Ganon's Castle's Baron hit and you're at the very beginning of the season, you're like, oh, thanks, game. Awesome. That's helpful. Not.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty good call there. All right, so we're going to have Check Raise finishing off this seed pretty soon. Thanks again for joining us, Grim Fairy, and congratulations once again. We'll see if we can talk to Check Raise here in a bit.
Yep, I'll head out. Thanks, guys. GG's.
Thanks, Grim.
Ooh! Check Raise taking a bit of a beating on Ganondorf. And now we see why he had the hook shot available. So we're gonna play distance tennis today. But I mean, the empty bottle is still sort of the best way to do Ganondorf here. You get way more frames to knock back the particle. And Check Raise finishing off Ganondorf, and it's time for the Ganon fight.
This seed is something else, man. This is just special.
All right, Check Raise finishing off. We're heading into the Ganon's fight. Yeah, this seed had the potential for some epic trolling, and then it turned out, not so much. And in fact, there, as we're being told, there were plenty of people who went Wasteland first. So, if we had if we had had some people who went Wasteland and some people who went horseback archery, we would have known well in advance where the go mode was. Wait, I don't remember a full shot at Lon Lon.
Not this seed. It was a previous seed that Shadow rolled that had the hook shot at Lon Lon and fake strength at the Ice Cavern.
Oh yeah, I ran that one. And here we go, check raise, finishing. Ganon is 24th place with an official time of 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 56 seconds. Congratulations to Check Raise on...
GG. We're done. And Checkways is joining us for an interview shortly.
Okay. Yeah, the light arrows hint was extremely specific. Unfortunately, the requirement was very not specific.
Yeah, that was me.
And it sounds like we are joined by Check Raise. Congratulations on finishing that. My goodness, what a...
Yeah, thanks.
GG, sir. GG.
Thank you.
It's like this seed just, dragged you kicking and screaming all around with all these, the early boomerang, the early hammer, the Ruto's letter, just kind of screaming all dungeons at you, and it turns out, nah.
Yeah, I didn't get baited too hard in the early game, but I got baited real hard by the Rose letter.
Yeah, lots and lots of debate going around here. But yeah, for the most part, we had basically everybody either did horseback archery and skipped the wasteland chest, or did the wasteland chest and skipped horseback archery. So basically,
when you see,
yeah, go ahead.
When you see that hint coming from Ganondorf, what goes through your mind when you see that?
I was extremely sad. I didn't even see the hint for Baron Ganon's castle until way later.
Yeah, I don't
saw...
think anybody did, given the two placements.
Yeah,
they were
behind
both.
Ruto's letter. Okay.
Yeah, they were both behind Ruto's letter, so you had to get that.
And GC before leaving, and then it was.
And I mean, that is the sensible thing to do, all things being equal. But unfortunately, it just turned out not to be the case today.
Yeah, I might have found gold a little bit earlier if I was more comfortable with Reverse Wasteland. But I still would have done Jabu and Ice first, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that, sometimes the seed is just there to troll the snot out of you.
Yeah, overall, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad once that second lift upgrade comes into play, or the third one. But yeah, you had to be sitting there thinking, oh, that's why no one's finished yet.
Yeah, when I'm in Ganon's castle going off and I see no one's finished, I know something's coming. I honestly thought it was gonna be like bottom of the well or something, so I had to go do all dungeons, like you said earlier. But when I saw
everybody
outside
here
of
thought
Ganon's
that was
castle,
going on.
Yeah.
Boy, I actually did a good job at generating this seed. Heh.
Oh yeah, it was a well done seed, and I'm happy to have commentated it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Trez, if that's your idea of a good seed,
You'd hate to see a bad one.
Well, take a look at it from this side. Like it was no AD. It was not like anything on the bullshitty checks like 50, and it was still not linear or not free because of the Golden Gauntlet's light arrow chain. So it kind of had everything you want from a random seed. If you are not looking for like all jet seeds every single time. So I think it was a really, really good seed. Like it was a great showcase for OoTR, in my opinion.
Absolutely, plenty of things shown. Basically, all of the locations got checked by somebody here. Basically,
I was
like,
getting
nobody did Baronade, but
I was really worried about that 1500 horse archer for a while, with almost everybody just piecing out and skipping it.
Yeah, I did that before going to Wasteland.
But yeah, I could definitely live with more of this kind of seeds.
But could you play them?
Yes, it would take me 15 hours, but yes. Not 15, probably more like 8. But
Hey,
still.
That would still get you 100 points.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all of our runners, Digital Hobo, Check Raise, Grim Fairy, and the Aeronaut for putting on an excellent show today. I want to thank our trackers. We had Signified, Bleeding Blue 11, Yoshikyon, and Mama Sheepy. These are the unsung heroes who really get the job done.
And
when it comes to
Techie popped
the
in to take over as well.
Yes.
When one of them had to.
Right, Techno Anonymous there for that takeover there. Once again, of course, I want to thank our restreamer here, Trezco, and of course my co-commentator, Cubs Rule 21. Thank you so much for joining me today.
What AC? This was something special.
Absolutely. So, once again, remember, there are still 4 of these qualifier matches left. The next 2 are going to be the weekend qualifiers, the North American weekly race on Saturday night and Sunday morning for the EU weekly race, and then 2 more throughout the next week, and that will do it. And then we'll be into the bracket stage where the top 32 runners will face off. So, with that being said, I think it's about time to wrap things up. What do you guys think?
I'm game. It's 4:40 in the morning for me. But hey, you guys did an amazing job. Bob, I said earlier I'm a big fan of your commentary, and boy did you guys deliver. I had lots of fun.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
And yeah,
Yeah,
I hope...
Trez needs to get to his 5th restream of the day.
I think the 5th restream of the day might be on the inside of his eyelids.
I'll actually go to bed now. It's fine. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually, like, usually whenever there's an OoTR stream this late, I can't, like, watch lots of it. But tonight I had the chance and it was really fun to watch. Also, ATZ got wrecked, which makes it even more fun.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I had a great time. So with that, I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic. And for Cubs Rule 21, Tresco, and all the trackers here, I just want to say thank you all for watching and good night, everybody.
Good night, all. See you guys Saturday night.
Bye bye.